Hello and welcome to Tricks of the Asteroid channel. Today is the 10th of April 2017, and today's video we have Lance Bass. Now, if you guys have never known or never heard of Lance Bass, we'll call him a he for now, but by the time we get done with this video, you know that Lance Bass has been lying to you with the help of the media, which is owned by the Vatican as well, to deceive you into thinking that he's a gay male when actually he's a she. Now, if you've never heard of Lance Bass, he used to be, I think, the bass vocalist with the group called NSYNC, which has got Justin Timberlake in it. And he's been around for a while, and he's like a gay rights activist, but he's a fraud because he's actually a she, and we'll prove that on this video. So if it's your first time on the channel, like I always say and I always recommend, that you're welcome. And if it's your first time, I recommend that you watch the primer video first. It's very important that you do watch the primer video on this channel, because it's like a basis. It will give you like a foundation to understand what we're going to be talking about, so I don't have to like be explaining myself way too much. So, and then also what I would also recommend that you do also is that you make sure that you download the attachment that's attached to every video that we make. If you don't have it already, if you have it, that's good enough. Should keep that document handy, study it. It looks like a lot of pages. It's about 44 pages, but it will take you like 30 minutes to go through it because it just has a lot of pictures, and it will help you because we live in a world in which you have to understand the visual differences between male and female. All right. And so before I get into the video, this particular video that we are making right now, the Lance Bass video, it's more like a part 3 of the video on Andy Biersack and the video on Nancy Sinatra. So if you haven't watched those two videos, I would recommend that you pause this video right here, watch the Andy Biersack video, and watch the Nancy Sinatra video, because this is more like a part 3. Because on those two videos, I revealed some of the tools of control that the Vatican uses to control people. On the Andy Biersack video, I revealed that they used fear. One of the tools of controlling your mind is fear. And on the Nancy Sinatra video, I expounded on something more about another tool of control, which has to do with using social media like Facebook. So on this particular video, I'm going to be revealing another tool of control that people are not aware of at all. They take this stuff in every morning when they wake up from bed, and they digest it also when you drink water. So I'll talk about that also on this video. And that third tool of control on this video is fluoride. So stick around and you'll learn something. All right. So before I get into the video, like I usually and always say, even though we reveal a lot of transgenders on our channel, the idea, it's not really about transgenders, all right? Because we have nothing against transgenders, as we usually say. We have nothing against anybody, as long as you're an adult and you make the decision that you want to leave that hoax or that fairy tale that you could change your gender from the gender that you were born into a different gender and leave that fantasy, then that's fine. We have no problems with that. What we are against on this channel is trying to expose to you the real rulers of the system, the people who have put the system in place, which is taking young children, which they are manufacturing these kids like products. They have like the surrogacy homes, the surrogacy centers, they have the parents, they have the families, they have the media, they have the hospital, they have the drugs, they have everything that they need to make this system to be successful in taking young children who are babies, right, who have not yet reached the age in which they can make the decision and say, okay, I want to leave a fantasy and a hoax, all right, that I am not the gender that I was born with. And these children are taken, castrated, or mutilated, as the case may be, fed hormones, and forced to live in a gender and sex that's not theirs, because they are products. They're trusted products in which the Vatican can trust. So that's what our channel is dedicated to showing you. We're dedicated to the truth, to providing you useful information, because there's a lot of deception and lies out there, especially on YouTube, which suck you in with a little bit of truth, because the truth they provide on most YouTube channels, it's not like it's a scam. In order for it to be successful, they have to give you a little bit of truth so they can suck you in with the lies. That's just the way it works. But our channel is wholly dedicated to showing you and telling you truth. So with that said, I have just a couple of things that I want to share with you today. First of all, I want to talk about something that's, I mean, we hear about science. I won't call it science. I call it pseudoscience, because real science is based on observation. I want to talk about something that I would just want you to ponder and think about it for a while. What I want to talk about is a volcano. All right. Now, over the years, you've probably heard that a volcano brings lava and magma out, from the Earth's crust, deep in the Earth's crust. But I want you to think about this for a second. And man, if you've studied your Bible, because like I've always said, the Bible is the greatest book of all time. It's a book that will show you sound, logical reasoning and thinking. It's not just a religious book, it's a history book as well. It will show you a lot of stuff. The Bible, the King James Bible, right, which we have today, it's one of the problems that tore out the Roman Catholic kingdom, that caused a lot of problems, that broke down the Roman Catholic Empire, which forced them to lose its power way back, I think, during the 1100s or down to the 1400s, which started the Reformation by Martin Luther and led to the Protestant movement, which made a lot of kings and queens to succeed from the Roman Catholic Empire. This all made it possible, all right? The Bible, because people started studying the Bible to see the truth that is, and they got wise. It gave them wisdom. It showed them logical ways of thinking, right? That same Bible is still the same problem to the Roman Catholic Empire, Roman Catholic Church today, led by the Vatican, right? And because of that, the Bible tore up the Roman Catholic Empire, and then since then, the Roman Catholic Empire has been on a journey, or has been on a program to bring back that empire under what they call the New World Order. All right. So why I'm interested in talking about the volcano is today is because pseudoscience has told you that the volcano a volcano is just made of lava and magma. But if you've studied your Bible, you'll know that the Bible talks about a lake of fire, which is prepared for the devil, Satan, and his angels. Could it be that when we look at a volcano every day, that we're looking at that preparation? Maybe God is just showing, because pseudoscience has covered a lot of people's eyes up. Could it be that when you look at a volcano, that is that lake of fire that's being prepared? And every time and now, it's more like when you cook some soup, the soup bubbles up. If you put a soup on the fire and you've got a lot of stuff inside it and it's cooking, it bubbles up and then the soup spills out from the pot. Could it be that this lake of fire that's being prepared, that's being cooked up for the devil, all right, it spills out in the form of volcanoes every day that we see? Is it possible? I'm just asking a logical question. Let's think about it for a second. Let's forget about all we've learned through pseudoscience and think about it. Could it be that that pot of the lake of fire that's been bubbling spills out as a volcano every day when we look at it? So let's just get into it and just show you what the official story is about in a volcano. All right, and we're looking at a Wikipedia page right now. you can always pause this video at any time and read that link, or copy that link out and paste it in your browser and go read. So it says here, if you can read through the official description of a volcano in Wikipedia, it says a volcano is a rupture in the crust of the planetary mass object such as Earth that allows hot lava, volcanic ash, and gas to escape from magma chamber below the surface. Now I'm going to show you on this particular page how pseudoscience lies to you, because like I've said, people have stopped reasoning and thinking about stuff. They just accept what's being told without doing their own investigation. Now, if you read further clearly into this page, it will tell you, let me see if I can actually get the actual spot that I could actually read that to you. Okay, I'm right here. It says, the so-called, let me see, I want to read something. I say, okay, in the East African Rift, just follow my mouse. It says, in the East African Rift and the Wells Gray Clearwater Volcanic Field and Rio Grande Rift in North America, right? It says, this type of volcanism falls under the umbrella of plate hypothesis volcanism. Volcanism away from plate boundaries has also been explained as mantle plumes. The so-called hotspots, for example, Hawaii, are postulated to arise from upwelling diapers with magma from the core mantle boundary 3,000 kilometers deep in the earth. Now, I want you to notice something. They say that volcanoes come from 3,000 kilometers deep in the earth. Now, this is a lie right here, because the farthest distance that man has ever drilled, right, according to the facts that we have, has been 12 kilometers deep. And they say that volcanoes come from 3,000 kilometers deep in the earth. Now, if we've only drilled 12 kilometers into the earth, right, how are we sure that the volcanoes come from 3,000 miles deep, 3,000 kilometers deep in the earth, when we've never even gone past 50 miles or 50 kilometers deep inside the earth? So how can we trust that what they're saying here is correct? Because if you go to the furthest distance, it says, if you look, like, you can type this out and just follow my mouse. It says farthest distance drill into the earth. Type it into your browser and this result will come up. It will show you that man has only drilled 12 kilometers into into the earth, right? So they haven't gone down deep enough past 12 kilometers to actually see that the volcano or the lava and magma which comes out from the earth comes from 3,000 kilometers deep in the earth. This means this is just a lie. They're not telling you the truth. So it's very, very possible. I just want you to think about it for a second, that it could be that the volcanoes, the magma flow that we see, is that cauldron of the lake of fire that the Bible talks about, that is being cooked up for the devils and his angels. And every once in a while, just like when you cook soup or you cook something, it bubbles out of the pot and spills out. And maybe that's what we see. So I'll just play a short clip of a volcano right here so you can see inside of what I'm talking about. All right, I'm going to play this and I just want you to listen and see, and I'll just stop talking so you can actually see what I'm saying, what's going on here. All right. Okay.
But to reach the molten lava, he had to put on a custom-built industrial proximity heat suit so he could withstand the temperatures, which exceeded 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, from only 10 meters away.
So I took my iPhone out to take a photo while I was down there, and I held it up for about 5 seconds until a little error message showed that said, flash is disabled, the iPhone needs to cool down before you can use the flash. So apparently iPhones aren't lava proof.
It was a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and Sam has since raised money to help the nation rebuild after the devastating cyclone of March 2000.
So we're back, and I just want to say, is this possible that once in a while, that cooking that God is doing, that lake of fire that He said He's preparing for the devil and his angels, could it be that this spills out once in a while and we see it in the form of magma or lava, as pseudoscience explain or disexplain, because they haven't given the proper explanation? They said it comes from 3,000 kilometers deep in the earth, and we've only drilled 12 kilometers into the earth physically. So how do we know that what they're saying is true and that's where it comes from? It's just a question I'm posing that anybody should take a look and see for themselves. So with that, the reason why, one of the main reasons why I always try to tell, I mean, it's not one of the main reasons. I always tell people, and I always say on this channel, that the Vatican runs everything that we do. Okay? And one of the things I wanted to show to you was that there was a meeting in the Vatican. It happened, I think, on the 24th of March. If you're reading my mouse here, you can pause this video, in which the Pope, right, tells EU leaders not to forget the founding values of the bloc. Now, the Pope here, I just happened to stumble upon this to my surprise. The Pope called for a meeting, and the meeting, what I'm going to show you here is how, since the media, the whole media that we watch, be it the internet or let's say the media, the news media, or whatsoever that we watch on TV, is owned by the Vatican. All right, it's owned by the Vatican, and they control whatsoever is going on. Now, what happened in the news? What happened in the news was like the subject of the Pope calling people, or calling the European leaders, all right, to this meeting in the Vatican. The leading headline was talking about that EU leaders, right, converge on Rome to rekindle sense of unity. All right, this was the topic of the agenda that they had in the Vatican. But I want to show you how news is controlled so much that you would never know. I'm sure a lot of people never heard of this, all right, on the news. It was given like a 1 minute, kind of 3 minutes, kind of like a very short news or airtime on TV, and people would never ever know that this happened. So when I copied this out, I copied it because this was supposed to be aired on ABC, the network news channel ABC that we have in the United States of America. So when I copied this out, right, and I tried to find the news to watch the video, I looked for it everywhere. So you can copy this out, you can pause the video and copy this out and paste it in any of your search engines and do exactly as I'm going to show you. So I did this, and when I hit enter, like I'm hitting enter right here, and tried to read up on the news, nothing would come up showing that. So as you can see right here, there's a link that says EU leaders converge on Rome to rekindle sense of unity, ABC News. But when you actually click on that, as I'm going to click right here, okay, you find out, let's see if this comes up as quickly as I hope it's going to be if my internet service is working right. If you click on that link, just like it says, you will find that there is no such thing as that left in the news or the web page that actually says that it does exist. And this is on Google that I did this search. So I was kind of like curious. So where is the video? Where's the video of the Pope meeting now with the EU leaders? Because like I've always said on this channel, the Vatican doesn't want you to know that it runs the world, so it doesn't paint a target on its back. And since they own all the media, I mean, the Vatican literally owns everything. If you've ever wondered how it seems that, the Vatican, or when laws are being passed, let's say like climate change, and like companies just seem to just fall in line with whatever the government says, it's because the Vatican owns all these companies. It doesn't matter if it's Ford, or your Toyota companies or your German companies that make Mercedes or whatever. The Vatican owns everything, and they just fall in line. They might cause a little bit of, because there are factions inside the Vatican. It's something that you have to understand. There are factions inside which do not wholly agree to the Pope being the leader and leading them. But at the end of the day, they're still working for the Pope and the Vatican. They might cause a little bit of, ruckus by saying, okay, we don't agree to what the Pope's saying. Some companies might say, no, we don't agree to all this control on climate change or whatever, which is actually a hoax, because I've said on many of my videos before that none of us has ever lived up to 200 years to actually know if the climate is the way it is now or it has changed so much dramatically. None of us have lived up to that time, a length of time to actually know. So if you notice how companies just fall in line so quick is because the Vatican owns all of them. So all they need to do is just tell them what to say and what to do, and they do that. So it's funny that I couldn't find this news on any web page, right? See, like we're right now on the ABC News webpage, and you can find it. And meanwhile, when you click on it over here, right, it's supposed to show. So I went looking, and trying to see this video or images or this article that could you could actually read and know what was being said in the Vatican with the European Union leaders, and nothing would show up. It just kept on doing like this, nothing. So what I did now was, okay, I copied this out again and said, let me go to Bing. So I want to show you that the Vatican owns everything here. I went to bing.com like I'm doing it right now, and I pasted that on Bing as well. I hit search like I'm hitting right now, and it's just pictures. I couldn't find actual videos, right? That the EU leaders converge on Rome to meet, right? Nothing would actually show up video-wise for you to see that. And this is something that happened. So the only news or the only video I could actually find on this article was actually on YouTube. So, and I'll play this right here so you can see that. And then you can pause this link. After that, I'll click on another link and you can actually pause and maybe copy that out and paste it on your YouTube search and find out if you can get the same results as I do. So I'll play this for a short while and then we'll come back and we'll do some more stuff. All right.
There's a warning to EU heads of state and government not to forget the founding values of the bloc. It comes from Pope Francis in a special meeting in the Vatican on the eve of a summit in Rome to mark the 60th anniversary of the European Union's founding document, the Treaty of Rome. The pontiff said Europe finds new hope when man is the centre and the heart of her institutions. I'm convinced that this entails an attention.
So I paused that just to say something about this particular what you just heard, that the Pope says that the EU was about, it should be centered on man. Now, according to what I do know, we've always known that this is the same story that Satan told Eve in the Garden of Eden. Man becoming God is the same thing that's being narrated here by the Pope, who's, I would say, in the physical, the devil himself. I would just say that outwardly, right? Now, it's the same thing that's being told to us, because remember what he's saying right now to the EU leaders, that the whole EU, that everything, when things are centered around man, it's going to be successful. That's what the devil told Eve. Remember, God said, you make me your center and everything else will be okay. So I'm just going to play it further, and then when we're done, we'll come back and continue with the rest of the video. All right.
And trust-filled readiness to hear the expectations voiced by individuals, society and the people who make up the Union. Sadly, one frequently has the sense that there's a growing split between the citizens and the European institutions. The pontiff also said he believes many people have forgotten the lessons of the past and the importance of solidarity and mutual respect.
Possiamo sconfiggere il terrorismo.
The President of the European Parliament said we can defeat terrorism, solve the problem of immigration, and banish the lingering economic crisis with the scourge of youth unemployment, only if we're able to rediscover and appreciate the reasons that brought us together, he says. The Pope also warned that the European Union must not be reduced to just numbers.
So as you can see right here on this particular pause that I paused the video at, you see that the Pope here is standing with all the EU leaders. You can see the Vice Chancellor of Germany right here, and a whole bunch, I think this guy is from Italy, and all the European leaders, showing you who's boss. The Pope is the boss, and all these leaders around them know that he's the king. So don't be fooled. The leaders around the world who know they're real bosses are those who agree and walk in accordance with him. And there's some people who do not agree. At the end of the day, they're gonna have more chaos in their countries with the people around them, because the Vatican is gonna make sure that they bow down to the real king, which is the Vatican hierarchy right here. So with that, you can also, if you want to watch like the full video on this particular topic on how the EU leaders came to meet with the Pope, you can click on this link. Let me just click on this link right here, and I'm gonna pause it so you can actually copy this out. All right, and just follow my mouse, copy that out and paste it in your YouTube search button right here. Let me just copy out and show you. Copy and paste right here, and then you can click on that link, and then you can read up, you know, or you can actually go and watch the video. So with that said, I want to tell you guys a short story on how I came to, you know, be doing this investigation and trying to make people understand what's really going on with their world. All right, so what happened was I used to have problems sleeping, insomnia. All right, I've had insomnia for a very, very long time. So my insomnia was pretty it was pretty intense, in the sense that I used to go for weeks without being able to sleep. When I'm talking about a weeks here, that means I would go on for like a week and not be able to sleep, and I would have maybe in a week 8 hours of sleep. So it was becoming quite a problem. And so I tried to meet a doctor, and I met a doctor one time. A friend actually recommended me to a doctor. So I met the doctor, and the doctor now told me I should try some sleeping pills. I think the sleeping pill they tried to that I was set upon the first time was called Lunestat, right? Now, prior to this, because I used to have a very bad case of insomnia, I would go on for like 2 weeks without being able to sleep. But sometimes, by the grace of God, after like 2 weeks, on a weekend, I would sleep for close to like maybe 24 hours and get over the fact that I haven't been able to sleep for weeks, whether it be 2 weeks or 3 weeks, depending as the case might be. And insomnia was getting pretty bad. So after I met the doctor now recommended Lunestat for me. So I tried the first dose of Lunestat the first day, and my insomnia got even worse. So now, before I took Lunestat, if I didn't sleep for a week, I would maybe sleep for like maybe 8 hours in a week, and be fine. But when I took the Lonestat now, because probably maybe sometimes during the day when I'm back home from like work, you know what I mean. I would try to sleep, and maybe I would get me in. Maybe I would sleep for maybe like an hour at night, and then I'll be fine. So, but when I took the Lonestat, I didn't sleep for 2 days straight. I was just up. So it was getting really, really crazy. So I stopped taking Lonestat for a while and said, I'm not gonna take it anymore because during the day, I mean, when I couldn't sleep, at the most, I would get like an hour sleep in a day. And then maybe, you know, at the end of the week, I could try to sleep for like maybe 8 hours. And that's the case. But when I took Lunesta, I couldn't sleep for 2 days. I didn't have that 1 hour of sleep at all for 2 days. So, and since I was always having insomnia. So when you have insomnia and you can't sleep, you always find stuff to do. All right. So that's how I started studying, and actually putting my brain to work and actually thinking about the stuff. So I got into I stumbled on something while doing my study. And what I stumbled on, like I had said in the beginning of the video, that I will talk about one of the tools of control, which actually happened to be fluoride. So what I stumbled on was fluoride. Now, people don't know that you consume fluoride every day in your toothpaste, all right? So what I stumbled on was I got in contact with a particular guy. It was just a video I found. And he said that, that way back in the day, you learn a lot of stuff from music. This is what the guy was trying to say on this particular video. That it was through music that he learned that fluoride was very, very bad for you. All right? People are not actually aware. There's been a case going on in the United States for like years now that the drinking water that we have should not be fluoridated anymore. And that's been going on for years. Now, the fluoridation of water started in 1945. That was during the Second World War. And I'll show you that because I'll show you others. I'll just click on a tab right here, and I'll show you historical events that happened in 1945, events in 1945. And what we have was the Second World War, January 1, German air raid on Allied airports at Eindhoven, Sint-Truiden, and Brussels. All right, the World War One was going. Oh, sorry, World War Two. I'm sorry about that. World War Two was going on in 1945. Pardon me, a mistake. Now, as I've always said, that the Vatican is behind every major event that's shaped the modern world that we live in today, and World War II is one of them. So back to the story of fluoride. So this guy now said that it was through music that he learned that fluoride was bad for your health. So I was like, wow, really? Fluoride that bad? And that people shouldn't be using fluoride in their toothpaste. I mean, he was talking about it, that if you have fluoridated toothpaste, you should stop using it. Go get a herbal toothpaste or something that has no fluoride in it, that the fluoride is killing you. So I was like, so I just heard this. You know how you hear something, because by now my eyes are getting open and I'm starting to learn. So I took it with a pinch of salt and I said, okay, let me go throw out my fluoridated toothpaste. Now, prior to this, because remember, I'm having insomnia, I didn't sleep for a week. I haven't slept for a week. So I threw out my fluoridated toothpaste. It so happened that I woke up that morning and I didn't brush my mouth yet. So I threw out the fluoridated toothpaste. So I went to Walmart to try to see if I could find like any herbal toothpaste or toothpaste that had no fluoride in it. And I found this toothpaste called Tom's of Maine. So I took Tom's of Maine back home and I brushed my teeth that morning. And after brushing my teeth that morning, I fell asleep. Now remember, I haven't slept close to like a week now, or 2 weeks. I slept the whole entire day. The only time I remember waking up was when I woke up, I tried to eat, and I found out that I was still really, really tired. So I went back to sleep. So this is something, this is something funny. I don't usually sleep like this. I've had insomnia for a while. But it didn't quite register to me at that point in time that it was because I had stopped. I didn't brush my teeth that morning with the fluoridated toothpaste that I had thrown away. So when I woke up when I woke up and then the night came and I slept pretty good. I woke up still feeling tired. So this is my body trying to catch up with the fact that I haven't been sleeping for years, all right? That I've been having insomnia for years. So I found that really weird. So mistakenly now, I have dental floss, and dental floss has fluoride in it. So the next morning, I wanted to go to work, so I decided to use the dental floss. I remember I had thrown out my fluoridated water, or sorry, fluoridated toothpaste. So I used the dental floss, and when I used the dental floss, I came back from work and I had insomnia again. I couldn't sleep throughout the whole entire night, uh, because the fluoride seemed to be in my system for that day. So I now started thinking, I had slept the day before, right? Pretty good. And now my brain's starting to work because even though I had thrown out my fluoridated toothpaste, I'm still not connecting the dots at this point in time. Why I slept so good after not being able to sleep for a week, and then um, not being asleep again. So I started thinking. So this is how my thought processes happen. So now I now started putting everything together. And now I now remembered that the day that I slept pretty good, that I didn't use any toothpaste that had fluoride in it, that I had used the Tom's of Maine toothpaste, which had no fluoride, and that I slept perfectly well that night. And that when I came back the next day from work, that I had used a dental floss, and the dental floss had fluoride in it. So I was now thinking, wow, so it's the fluoride that's been causing my insomnia. So I now said, okay, I won't use the dental floss anymore that day. I threw out my dental floss. Or if I wanted to use the dental floss, I took it out and I would turn my tap water on, make it hot, and wash out like all the flossy taste and feeling from the floss before actually using it. And I now found out that on the next day, I slept pretty good. And it continued the day after and the day after. My insomnia was gone just by me stopping to use fluoridated toothpaste. Okay? So this is what I'm trying to show you, one of the tools of control of fluoride. Now, people had said that fluorine or fluoride should not be used to fluoridate water anymore, that it has more harmful effects. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. So let me just read something to you. Now, this is from, you can pause this video at any time, copy out this link, highlight it on my screen, and paste it on your browser, and study this too and read it. Now, I want to show you the history of fluoridation in the United States. Now remember, okay, I'm just going to read this and then I'll tell you what I want to say. It says, water fluoridation, which first began in 1945 in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and expanded nationwide over the years, has always been controversial. Those opposed to the process have argued, and a growing number of studies have suggested, that the chemical may present a number of health risks, right? It does have, the health risks are tremendous. Now, this is Newsweek, and this is a Vatican-owned publication writing this to confuse you. So you have some of this info on this page, but nevertheless, let's keep on reading. It says, for example, interfering with the endocrine system and increasing the risk of impaired brain function. Can you see what fluoride does to you? Two studies in the last few months, follow my mouse, two studies in the last few months, for example, have linked fluoridation to ADHD and underactive thyroid. So can you see what's causing a lot of the children, especially in the United States, being sickly, having ADHD. There's what they call, I'm forgetting, what's the name of that disease that causes children to like shake so much, causing autistic children. This is the case because you have to understand. Here's what people don't know: when you take in fluoride as a woman, a fluoride infects your ovaries. So your ovaries already infected with fluoride before those eggs are fertilized by your sperm. And remember, the man also who's brushing his teeth every day with fluoride has infected sperm. So when the child is born, the child already has fluoride in his system. So by the time the child grows up, so you can see that the fluorine is infecting like 2 generations already. Infected the mom, infected the eggs are infected, and when the child comes out, he's infected with also either his eggs or the sperm inside. Now, as I've already always told you on the Vatican, told you about the Vatican, that the Vatican doesn't want strong people in their bodies and strong people in their minds, because you can't control strong people. And I've also said that real money, are assets, and the greatest assets in the world are people. Now, if you have a strong people, both in mind and in body, and strong people in mind and body can be controlled, the Vatican can make any money off of you. So they have to make you weak. It's the reason why you have a lot of this stuff, like fluoridation in your water, hormones in your food to make you sick. They want the population sickly and weak so they can be controlled to make money and also to be a slave. So I'm going to show you some more stuff about fluoride. So others argue, now this is what, because I've told you Newsweek is a Vatican-owned publication, so it will always try to give you what they call it the dialectics. That means you have like the hero, you have the villain, and you have someone in between, right? They always play with this dialectics all the time. So when you read further down here, he says others argue against water fluoridation on ethical grounds, saying the process forces people to consume a substance that they may not know is there, or that they'd rather avoid. Right? So let's go back to let me just show you some more stuff about fluoride so you can know what fluoride is. All right. Now here is a web page on okay, let me actually show you the story fluoride. Let me see if I can actually pull that information out properly here. Just give me a quick second. All right, let me do this. All right. Okay, so here we are. Now it says you can pause this and take out that link, paste it in your browser, and go read it. It says fluoride. We're talking about fluoride here. It says fluoride is the reduced form of fluorine. Fluorine is the most highly reactive and chemically unstable of all existing chemical elements. Fluorine is not found by itself in nature because it is so unstable that it chemically combines violently in many cases with practically any other element except chlorine, nitrogen, oxygen, and the inert gases of helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon. Okay, and that's what it's talking about there with fluoride. Now, what I want to read to you now here, it says fluoride is added to our drinking water, fertilizers, pesticides, and various other products that affect us and environment. The growing concern of the effects of fluoride within the human body has started a revolution in banning this product. There have been many recent studies as to the benefits of fluoride in our water and products. There are no benefits. Don't believe that. There has yet to be found any benefits. Okay, it's already saying that. There's yet to be found any benefits that outweigh the actual toxic effects caused to the human body by fluoridation. Can you read that? Now, let's go back to what what fluoride is, one of the basic um, ingredients that fluoride is found in. Now, it says here that fluoride is one of the basic ingredients in both Prozac. Now, remember, Prozac is the antidepressant that's being used. Now, that's being used to cure people who say they suffer from depression. Now, as you can read, he says that fluoride is one of the basic ingredients in both Prozac, and it's called fluoxetine hydrochloride. That's the name that the fluoride that's being used in Prozac. And it's also used as a sarin gas. It's called isopropyl methyl phosphoryl fluoride. All right. Now, let me read to you one other thing that fluoride does to the body. It says fluoride calcifies the pineal gland, reducing the normal amount of melatonin increase. Its accumulative toxin gradually builds up and causes harm, damaging kidneys, bones, pineal gland, thyroid, and other tissues. There is no, now this is the most important, this is the main reason why they put fluoride in your toothpaste, which the government lies to you about. It says there is no positive evidence that fluoride helps tooth enamel, which means it doesn't help in what they say, strengthen your tooth enamel or tooth decay. So now let's go back to the story of how fluoride got into the United States during the Second World War. And let me read that to you. Now, here's a story. You can pause this, copy out that link, and paste it in your browser and read. All right. Now, let me read the story of what really happened, what I actually want to read. Now, it says, at the end of the Second World War, the United States government sent Charles Eliot Perkins, a research worker in chemistry, biochemistry, physiology, and pathology, to take charge of the vast Faben chemicals plants in Germany. Now, let me see if I can find something on Charles Eliot Perkins. I'm gonna be right back. Okay, hold on a second. So I looked up Charles Eliot Perkins. I'm just gonna show you what I found. So I copied his name out and I pasted it. And this came out, Charles Eliot Perkins, on his wiki page, and he was born November 24, 1840. And I read his early life. It said he was born in Cincinnati, Ohio, on November 24, 1840, to James Handesad and Sarah Hart. Eliot Perkins, his ancestor was Pierre de Molax, bailiff at Melvin Chase, the large forests, right, which was the favorite hunting ground of Edward I of England. Like I always say, the Vatican always has a hand in everything, and that's what I'm going to try to show you from this page. So what I did find out was, okay, I said, okay, if he was his ancestor was Pierre de Molay, and he was related to Edward I of England. So I clicked on Edward I of England, and this came to this page, and it's talked about Edward I of England and who he was. And so I scroll down the page a bit, because I know I'm always looking for the Vatican connection in any of these pages. And as I scroll down a lot further down into the page, and I'll show you what happened. There's a story about here when he says that when Edward seems to have had a problem. You can always pause this video at any time and go read this up on yourself, that he had a problem with one of his sons. And so when he returned from France, when the king returned from France, he initially refused to see his son, but through the mediation of the Earl of Cromwell and the Archbishop of Canterbury, the two were eventually reconciled. All right, see that? So the Archbishop had a hand in Edward's life. So when I clicked on the Archbishop of Canterbury, and just to see what it was all about, and you can do that as well and read through the page. When I scrolled down, I found that the Archbishop was consecrated by Pope Innocent IV. So you can see the connection, the Vatican connection to the guy we're studying about, who brought about fluoride into the United States of America. So let's go back to that page, Charles Eliot Perkins, and keep on reading. So let's continue down with what we were trying to say. He says he was a research worker in chemistry, biochemistry, physiology, and pathology, to take charge of the vast Faben chemical plants in Germany. While There he was told by German chemists of a scheme which had been worked out by them during the war and adopted by the German general staff. All you can know about is when you hear about schemes being worked out, you just have to know it's the Vatican, all right? Just know that. So let's read further. It says, this was to control the population in any given area through mass medication of drinking water. In this scheme, sodium fluoride occupied a prominent place. So now here is the trick. Now, during a time, because people started talking about water being fluoridated, and so the Vatican was now thinking if because people now had a target in the sense that we don't want our water being fluoridated anymore. So the Vatican was thinking of what better way can we make them still have the fluoride to make sure that they're sick, because fluoride makes you docile. It makes you manipulable to instructions, like in Prozac. If you give somebody Prozac, you're able to control that person through what you say, right? So the Vatican was thinking, what better way can we pass fluoride to the population since they're against it in fluoridating water? So they came up with the scheme to put the fluoride in toothpaste. Can you see the trick? You might say you don't want the fluoridated water, you don't want fluorine in your water and drink good water. We'll put it in your toothpaste. So you consume it every morning, making the population to be docile. So that's the reason why people can't seem to think. This is one of the tools of control that the Vatican uses, fluoride. So people cannot think. People are manipulable to instructions. That means whatever the government tells you to do, you do, because it's the fluoride walking in your system. All right, making you to be manipulable, not to have your own thoughts, but the thoughts that they give to you. Does it make sense? So let's read on. It says, repeated doses of infinitesimal amounts of fluoride will in time reduce an individual's power to resist domination by slowly poisoning and narcotizing a certain area of the brain, and will thus make him submissive to the will of those who wish to govern him. Both the Germans and the Russians added sodium fluoride to the drinking water of prisoners of war to make them stupid and docile. Can you see that? Now let's show you how bad fluoride is. Now fluoride is also used in rat poison, right? So if anything can kill rats, it's gonna kill you. So you can go to this page and copy out this link right here. All right, it's gonna talk about rat poison, like the ingredients you have in rat poison, and I just want to point out one of them to you. It's called fluoracetamide right here. Right, follow my mouse. That's fluoride again. Now let's show you what some of the other things that fluoride does to you. A lot of damage, like in Prozac. Already read that to you earlier, but we're in a page here. You can also copy that out and see the ingredients in Prozac. Now it says antidepressants increase the risk of suicidal thoughts and behavior in children, adolescents, and young adults in short-term studies. These studies did not show an increase in the risk of suicidal thoughts and behavior with antidepressant use in patients over 24 years. All right. There was a reduction in risk with antidepressant use in patients aged 65 and older. Now, what I wanted to show you was that fluoride is being used there as well. See that? Fluoxetine capsules. Can you see that? All right. That's one of the main uses of fluoride. Now, let's show you how bad fluoride is with women. All right. Now, it says here, you can copy this a link right there and put it in your browser and read that. I'm gonna just read some stuff to you to see how the fluoride messed me up in the sense that it didn't help me sleep, was causing my insomnia. Because you have to understand that for you to sleep, there's a secretion that your brain releases at night that helps you to be calm and be able to sleep. It's called melatonin. All right. Now, I'm going to read that to you. So, when the fluoride gets into your system, it messes up the pineal gland, which releases that melatonin into your body that causes you to relax and be able to go to bed and sleep. So, I'm going to read that to you right here. It says, in the 1990s, a British scientist, Jennifer Luke, discovered that fluoride accumulates to strikingly high levels in the pineal gland, right? The pineal gland is located between the two hemispheres of the brain and is responsible for the synthesis and secretion of the hormone melatonin. Melatonin maintains the body circadian rhythm, sleep-wake cycle. See that? So that's why that, like I'm saying, the whole story of me doing all these investigations and getting to find out what's going on was because I had insomnia. And insomnia, like I had said earlier before, was because of the fluoride in my toothpaste. And when I stopped using fluoride in my toothpaste, mouthwash, and everything, I could sleep and wake and have no insomnia. So I'm reading this to you so you can actually see one of the tools of control that the Vatican uses to keep people docile. That's why people can think they're stupid, like I've read before. They have no mind of their own. They just believe what they're being told because they're using fluoride in their toothpaste without even knowing. And the government lies to you through the Vatican that it's useful so it can maintain your strong teeth and cavities. And I haven't had any cavities. I'm not using fluoride toothpaste. So let me keep on reading. It says, fluoride, it regulates the onset of puberty. This is what the pineal gland does. It regulates the onset of puberty in females and helps protect the body from cell damage caused by radicals. So what does that mean? So that's the reason, for example, in today's age, when you see like maybe you see like a 7-year-old girl having breasts and growing, having her periods when she's not even when she's not even supposed to be having that kind of thing at that age. It's because of the fluoride. The fluoride shortens the puberty in both males and females. That's why you see like maybe a 10-year-old look like he's 20 years old. You see a 20-year-old person and he looks like he's 30 or 40 years old. He looks older than their age. It's because of the fluoride. You can pause this at any time right here and read that page so you can actually see what is going. Now it says it is already showing you what fluoride actually does. That it shortens puberty. Let me see if I can read something more one more time. Okay, it says while it is not now this is while it's not yet known if the fluoride accumulation affects pineal gland function. Now this is a lie already because they already told you the truth here that it does affect that pineal gland function. Now they're trying to tell you a lie because I'm sure the Vatican isn't on this, trying to give you some this info so you don't actually know what you're reading. So that's why when you're studying stuff, you have to study with sense. It says preliminary animal experiments found that fluoride reduced melatonin levels and shortened the time of puberty. So it makes children to grow quickly. It shortens the time. So for example, if puberty was supposed to last maybe like 5-6 years in a child, with somebody taking fluoride, it shortens it to 2 years, makes the person grow older quickly. Does it make sense? So that is the information that I wanted to present to you today, okay? So like I said, this is more like a part 3. Starting on the part 1 would be the Andy Biersack video. So you haven't watched that, watch that too. Watch the Nancy Sinatra video, and now you have the Lance Bass video, which like a part 3 of all those other first videos that I mentioned. All right. So with that said, now let's get back into the subject of today. After revealing one of the tools of control that the Vatican uses, and this tool of control that we've revealed today is fluoride. Let's get back to the subject today, which has to be with Lance Bass. All right, and here we go. So here is Lance Bass. All right. Now, when like I said, he's been portrayed like a gay male when he's actually female. And one of the things that you're gonna start noticing about Lance Bass is that he has an hourglass figure. Can you see those hips right there? I'm gonna blow this up so you can actually see the difference, and you can see the Q angle, right? See the Q angle? The Q angle is the angle between the hip and the knee, and it's more acute in females and it's less acute in males. Can you see how straight this is on the male? Can you see how curved this is on the male? He has an hourglass figure, wide hips, showing you that he is female. Now, if it's your first time on the channel and you don't know what a female looks like, I'm going to explain some stuff based on the documents that we have. All right, so I'm going to pull a document in here and show you what it looks like. So here is a female. A female has a wide pubic arch. The pubic arch is 120 degrees or wider on a female. So because the pubic arch is wider, it pushes the pelvis right further apart, causing the legs to be further apart on the female, giving that female an hourglass figure, as you can see right here. And then down here in the page again, let me show you again. See that? Wide pubic arch, right? The wide pubic arch is so that a lady can be able to give birth, so a child can come out of the womb. All right, she can spread her legs and have sex, and you know, all that. So that's the reason for that wide pubic arch here. With men, it's 90 degrees or less, and so that's what's causing the female to have this hourglass figure. And when we go over to Lance Bass over here, you can see that he has the same thing, hourglass figure like a female and wide hips. Now, the thing about the hip is this also. Now, let me just show you something. We'll just show you a little bit of stuff, all right? Now, here is the picture I was trying to show you, and here's the wide pubic arch of a female, all right? Wide pubic arch. And because of the wide pubic arch, the pelvis is further pulled apart. And then the hips now are further pulled apart. And here's part, this is the part of a woman that you find sticking out at her sides. This is the hip bone. You can call it hip bone, then medically it's called the trochanter, all right? Or in anatomic circles, all right, it's called the trochanter. And because of that, because of the wide pelvic arch here, and that the pelvic bone, because the pelvis is pulled apart, it makes this female have a Q angle, and this bone sticks out because the bone is now dragged at an angle, so it sticks out at the female hip. All right, so because of that, when a female is gonna be is trying to measure her hips are always gonna be below the crotch. All right, the widest part of the female will always be below her crotch, as you can see right here. Now, and then with a man, a crotch is going to be, with a man, his hip, is going to be above his crotch, as you can see right here. All right, crotch right here, hips above. So in when a man wants to like measure himself into a clot, he's going to find out that his hip is going to be above his crotch. Crotch right here, hip above. Let me show you. Let me just play a short video clip so you can see what I'm talking about even much more better. All right. Okay, so here is the clip, and you'll see how a female's hips are measured. All right, we'll play that. So you can see the widest point is always going to be below the crotch. Like the lady's measuring right here, measuring the hips of a female. This is the crotch, and the hips are below it. Can you see that? All right, and the lady's going to turn around and see that widest part below the crotch, just above her butt, a little bit from behind, because the pelvis is tilted forward. All right, so we go back to Lance Bass here to show you what Lance Bass hips are like. All right, so we come back to the picture, and as you can see right here, the widest part on Lance Bass body, right? See that point right there? If you draw a line right there, that's the widest part. It's above his crotch, right? See that? See that? Showing you that he is female. Now, somebody may look at Lance Bass and say, let's go to, let me see if I can find another picture. Now, if you find a picture of Lance Bass, a really nice picture, let me just show you what I mean, okay? and how people get tricked. Let me show you what I'm saying. So we'll find a picture of Lance Bass online and show you something that you should take notice of. Now, if you look at Lance Bass right here and you look into his eyes, you see that his eyes are like some sort of like grayish, bluish gray color. Now, people always come on the when they see these people with this like eyes that are not brown, they see them with hazel, greenish, bluish, grayish eyes. They think the eyes are beautiful. I mean, that's common thinking. But people don't understand that when you have like hazel, grayish, bluish, greenish eyes, that you're suffering from a lack of melanin. It means that you probably must have problems, genetic problems that you're not aware of. So let me show you what happens, what causes those eye color. I'm gonna go to a website here. You can pause this right here, copy that link out, and read it. Paste it in your browser and read. It says, what gives eyes their color, right? We're going to read something, all right? It says, the color of your eyes. Let me pull this and read this, right? Put this in the right perspective. Let me try to reduce this so we can fit on the screen. It says, the color of your eyes depends on how much of the pigment melanin you have in your iris, the colored part of your eyes. The more pigment you have, the darker your eyes will be. Blue, gray, and green eyes are lighter because they have less melanin in the iris. Most people in the world would end up with brown eyes. The next most common colors are blue and gray, and green is the rarest color. Besides giving your eyes color, now I want you to hear this now, melanin helps protect them from the sun. Well, I'm gonna say there's a lot. It's not the most correct information. Melanin protects you. The sun doesn't actually hurt you. It's more like you don't have enough melanin to be able to absorb the beneficial use of the sun, because the sun provides a lot of vitamins. It makes you stronger. Your lack of melanin in your eyes means you don't have enough benefits from the sun. So it's not the sun really hurting you in a sense. I just want to put that right. So it's because of that you have that kind of like eye thing that, Mr. Lance Bass has over here. So when you look at him, you think, oh, he's just a pretty little thing. He's genetically deficient. He doesn't have love. Let me put it right. She doesn't have enough melanin. All right. So he's a sickly dude. Oh, she's a sickly dude. So let's go to the next picture. All right. I just wanted to pass that information out there. Now look at Lance Bass again. See the hourglass figure that he has over here? Can you see that? You're looking at a chick, and see how short the arms are. The arms of Lance Bass. It's not long enough, because if you're male, right, even though his arms are slightly bent to this position, they still should be longer, right? So with how you know a female, let's go back to a page again, all right, is this. If you draw a line from the crotch of a female, all right, you draw it to the right or you draw it to the left. From the crotch straight down to the arms, the line will always end inside the palms of a female's hands. Clear indication that you're looking at a female. If you're a man and you draw a line from the crotch into the arms, right, it's going to be above the wrist, showing that you're male. With Miss Lance Bass over here, those short arms right here indicate that you're looking at a female. And see how short the shoulders are? They're tucked inside the pelvis. See, if I draw a line, now remember, we're talking about a male here. I have never seen a male whose hips are wider than his shoulders. It's not possible. All right. If we draw a line from Lance Bass's armpit right here, which should be his shoulder length, we draw a straight line. I want you to take a note of that. That line ends inside the hips, right? It ends inside the hips. Clear indication that you're looking at a male. Clear indication that you're looking at a female. Because if he was male and we drew that line, it should fall outside the hips. Because a man's shoulders is always going to be wider than his hips. So in this case that we're doing this, drawing that line down, straight down, ends inside the hips, means that you're looking at a female who's been posing and lying to you that he's a gay male. All right, some more pictures. Look at Lance Bass again. See that? Those are hips right there. Hips of a female. See how short the arms are? If I drew a line from the crotch to his arms, see that? It ends inside the palms of his wrist and not above it, which would be an indication that he's male. You're looking at a genetically born female who's been transgendered. Here's what I'm talking about. Taken as a kid, probably produced by surrogacy, in a hospital, and given all the media protection, portraying you that you're looking at a male when you're looking at a female. All right? See how the Vatican works here? Some more pictures. Look at that again. See how the shoulders, the butt, see how the arms hug the body? This is how the arms of a female are always hugging the body. The arms of a man will always be outside because the shoulders are wider. See the small neck? Don't worry about what's going on here. It's fake, right? Don't worry about that little Adam's apple. That's fake. The neck's way too small for the head, right? It doesn't have a wide enough neck. Men have wide necks to support the large skull that we have, because a man has 10% more brain matter than a female, so the cranial space inside the brain is bigger, and it's normal architectural design. If something is heavy on top, you have to have a wider support base to support the heavy skull on top. But in this case, you can see it's a small neck, small shoulders, arms tucked inside the body. See how that is tucked inside the body? It's joining. See the hourglass figure? Can you see that? Hourglass figure. See that? Short arms. If I draw a line from the crotch right here inside the palms of her hands when it's supposed to be above the wrist, if it's female, you're looking at a male. I don't know what's going on down here. It's probably some sort of strap-on or some sort of construction. They can actually do that, but you're looking at a genetically born female. This is no male. So don't be deceived anymore, all right? Let's go further. See that again? See that? Hourglass figure. See that smile and that face? We'll talk about that some more later on. See that? Hourglass figure. Look at the hips and the curve right there. You're looking at a female. This ain't no male. They've been lying to you saying it's a gay male. It's female posing as male. Some more pictures. I want you to take a look at that back. See that? You can still see the huge hips, short arms. See that? Huge hips, short arms, hourglass figure. You're looking at a female. Some more pictures. And we're comparing two females now. I want you to notice something about the legs here. See that even though the female on the right is a smaller female and the female on the left is a bigger female, don't worry about this. It's fake. It ain't real. Study the legs. Study the knees. See the way it curves, because that's how a female legs are supposed to be. See its curves. With a man, this calf muscles would be more awkward looking and much more bigger. It wouldn't be this nice and slender and curvy. Two females, right? Hourglass figure. Can you see that right there? Hourglass figure. You're following my mouse. Arm tucked inside the body. Two females. All right. Let's go on. Now, in this particular picture, that's why I'm saying that you can make role models of anybody you see on TV. You can make them because they're paid professional liars. They're successful based on the lies they tell, the deception that they pass to you. They are not working for you. Because I've said already on one of our videos, that anybody you see on TV is vetted. There are two types of people you see on TV. There are vetted people, or people who are working against the system, which want to be made an example of. Those are the only two people you see on TV. Because as I've said before, TV is like your house. You don't let nobody just come up in your house, go through your fridge, go through your kitchen, go through your rooms and do whatever they want. They have to be vetted. That's what TV is like. So you can't make role models of anybody you see on TV, because NSYNC totally lied to you that Lance Bass here is male when he's female. As you can look at this picture right here, you can see that he is the more female looking person. Can you see that? See the small ears? See that female face? Justin Timberlake never told you that Lance Bass was female. Can you see that? Right? See the small neck right there? We'll have some more pictures to show you. See the small neck of Lance Bass? And see how wide the necks of these folks are? I haven't looked at all of them to know, but they look male to me for now. And Justin Timberlake never told you that this was female. You can't make role models. You can't trust these people on TV. All right? More pictures. Now here's another picture. See the small, scrawny neck of Lance Bass? See how wide the neck of Justin Timberlake is, and wide the neck of this other fellows here on NSYNC, right? Small neck, small skull. See how large the skulls of these males are? Because men have 10% more brain matter and 10% more larger skulls than females. Can you see that? See how large the skulls are here? And see how small this one? Tiny neck. Looking at a female right here. It's no male. Let's go on. See that arch in the back right there? This fella has an arch in the back. It's only females that have arches in their back. Now, if you didn't know, let's refer to a document just to show you what I'm talking about. All right. Here is a document which I said that you should keep handy. You should study it and keep it handy at any point in time. A female always has an arch in her back. The arch in her back is for extra support so that she can carry the weight of pregnancy and carrying children. All right. So there's always going to be an arch in a female's back. It's going to be a shape like a C or shaped like an S, depending on where you draw it from. With men's back, a man's back is always going to be straight. It's going to be shaped like a D or a P, straight into the pelvis. With a female, it arches into the pelvis. So if a man's back is going to arch, it's going to arch outside. A female's back is going to arch inside. It doesn't matter if the female has muscles or not. There's always going to be an arch in the female's back. If she lays down, tries to bend or whatsoever, the female's back's always going to arch more than the male. All right, let's scroll further down just to show you that so you can see. All right, a female's back is always going to arch, whether she's a small lady like the one on my right here or a big woman like the one on my left. There's always going to be an arch in that back, extra support to carry the weight of pregnancy with the tilted pelvis. All right, arch in the back. There's always going to be one. All right, doesn't matter if the female's got muscles like this, right? There's always going to be an arch in her back. Muscular female, arch in her back. And what do you have with Miss Lance Bass here? Arch in the back. Looking at a female. See that again? Now here. See the way this arm is put around? That's why you can put your arm around a female, because she's got an arch in the back. So it feels good when you wrap your arm around a female's back. Does it make sense? This is what's happening with Lance Bass. See that? Arch in the back. From the way this person is putting the arms around the back. And this is Lance. Miss Lancey Bass is female, not male. Been lying to the whole entire time that he's male, a gay male. He's female. All right, some more pictures, and look at that. I want to show you another trick of the trade here. All right, see, he has an arch in his back. Can you see that? Even through clothes, you can always see a female's arch in the back. Can you see that arch in the back right here? And this is the supposed whatsoever gay or lover that he has. Can you see how straight this one's back is? Male right here, female right here. And here Lance Bass is trying to see. I want you to be able to pay attention to such thing. See, Lancey Bass is smiling and this dude isn't smiling. Why is that? Because he's trying to make his face or his skull look as large as this dude's over here. That's why Lancey Bass is smiling, opening the teeth, widening the face, dropping the jaw to make it look as big as the dude over here. Because Lancey Bass here knows that he has an arch in his back, that he is female, and this is male with a straight back. Can you see that? Some more pictures. Let's go further. Now here's Lance Bass again with Justin Timberlake. Now in this picture, I wanted to tell you something that you guys don't actually know, you're not aware of. A man's nose is always bigger than a female, and a man's nose is always closer to his upper lip than a female. If you're a female, I want you to take a good look at your nose. Your nose is going to be farther away from your upper lip. So that's why when a man, when you hear people have like nose jobs, it's most likely gonna be, I'm not saying it's exact, and what I'm saying is actually exact, but I'm saying in most cases, when you hear somebody have a nose job, it's mostly because the person could be male trying to look female. I'm saying it could be because what happens is like they try to shorten the nose length. They'll cut this tip off so that it appears that the nose is further away from the lips to make it look female, because females' noses are farther away from their upper lip, while a man's nose is always closer to his upper lip. So as you can see right here, Justin Timberlake has a huge nose, closer to his upper lip, male. Lance Bass has a small nose, further away from the upper lip, female. All right? Don't worry about the eyes. Don't be deceived by the eyes. I just told you, all right, is a lack of melanin. All right? Okay, it's genetically defective. All right, let's go further. And look at Lance Bass again here. See that walk? See the short arms, the hourglass figure, all right? Can you see that? The widest part of the hips right here below the crotch. Can you see that? You're looking at a female. See the small neck, right? Because the skull's not heavy enough, because it's not male. Small neck. You're looking at a female. More pictures. See that walk right there? Lance Bass is female. That's a female walk. That's not a man walking. Take a look at that. That's a female walk. All right, more pictures. See, that's why you still can't trust people, you see on TV, because this is T-Balls of TLC, and this is Emmanuel Shiriki, and this is Miles, and they never told you that the dude that they're playing around here is actually female. You can't make role models of these people, all right? Can you see the thing about I said the lip? Now let's look at this again. I'm going to try to blow this up as much as I can. See, the distance from the nose to the lip is longer here, because this female. Distance from the nose to the upper lip here is longer, female. Nose distance from the upper lip to the nose is longer here, female. And look at this. Nose distance from the nose to the lip, upper lip here is short, male. Can you see that? There's always a clear distinction between male and females in their noses. See that again. Nose distance, long. Nose distance to the upper lip, long. Nose distance from the upper lip, long. Nose distance to the upper lip, close. Male, female, female, female. All right, some more pictures. Here is Lance Bass with Beyonce. Now, if you never knew, on this channel we've shown you, we have a part 1, part 2, on part 3 in Beyonce, showing you that Beyonce is male. That's why you still can't make role models of anybody, because Beyonce never told you that she's male to female transgender. And Lance Bass here that he is hugging never told you that he's female. See how twisted this is? This is female and this is male, but you think that this is male and this is female? You can't trust these people. All right, more pictures. And here is Lance Bass kissing on Lindsay Lohan again. Lindsay Lohan has been lying to you that he's been kissing on a man. He's been kissing on a female, right? Can you believe that? That's why you can't make role models of anybody you see on TV. Don't trust a word they say. They're not working in your own best interest. Even if they're telling you the truth is to suck you in for the bigger scam that's coming along. That's how they operate. That's how they work. They're professionally paid to do so. They've been brainwashed to do so. That's why you can't trust them. All right. So I hope you learned something in today's video. I ask that you subscribe, that you stay tuned, and I'll leave you with these words as I usually say. Look with your eyes and see with your brain. Thanks and bye-bye.